Legend of the Star Heroes. Wow, there's 2 doors? That's interesting. Alright. Nigga. What is going on here? Holy shit. Okay. Chosen by the world legacy. The rulers of the star were not human. That world was ruled by 7 mechanical life forms known as the Mech Knights. And across the land spread their vanguard and crawlers. The crawlers tend to swarm and destroy all human-made constructions in their path. They most likely lack any emotion. Helpless before those ruthless machines, mankind had no choice but to live in hiding. Dense with thick trees, gloomy even in the daytime. A hinterland known as Forest of the Stars. There lay in a hidden village where humans live inconspicuously. The village was protected by a barrier that would prevent intruders from invading or even discovering it. The ritual wand, passed down through many generations, made the barrier extremely resistant, and it had never broken, not once. But even so, the villagers were suffocated by their anxiety day after day, not knowing when the great threat would come knocking at their doorstep. From within the suffocating unease of the village, there were still those determined to fend off the crawlers. Aroma and Nigurusu, I can't even pronounce that. There was a reason that they fought so desperately. It was the village priestess, well, and the younger sister of Ningrusi. Ib? From birth, the priestess possessed a divine power that synergized with their ritual wand to create barriers. Ib's power was the strongest the village had ever seen in its history, but it was meager compared to the frightening force that grew stronger by the day. Her companions saw how hard she was trying to put the brave face for the villagers and wished that they could lighten her burden, even by a little. Araman and Nigurusu, along with the baby dragon Imduk, crossed the barrier in hopes of slaying even just one crawler. One day, Ib heard from inside the forest a faint sound like that of a human voice. Aram and Nigurusu would not hear it. However, Ib proclaimed that she kept hearing the voice. Afraid Ib would venture into the forest alone, Aram, Nigurusu, and the baby dragon Imduk set foot inside the hintered land. Oh, look at that little dragon! Wow, there's more. The sun had already set, leaving only starlights to guide them. The scent of the trees and the soil hung in the cold air. Though her footing was unsure, Ib ventured into the forest as if she was being guided. Careful not to lose sight of her, the three looked out for the crawlers as they followed her. Suddenly, with an abrupt shriek, Ib vanished before their eyes. Rushing, oh man, that's fucking cool. Look at the artwork. Rushing to the place where they'd lost sight of her, they saw Ib had fallen off a low cliff. God damn. It appeared Ib had been so spellbound in the direction of the voice that she hadn't noticed there was no grounding before her. The three descended the cliff and were revealed to find Ib injured. Alright, well, she got hurt. Before their eyes, a mysterious structure appeared. If it had been there before, they would have noticed it. But it's as if the structure had been there for hundreds of years. It was in condensed white trees and entwined by ivy. They nervously approached the building. The wand Ib held in her hand had glowed, and building started to rumble as if it was in response. A mighty light radiated from the building, blowing aside the trees and cloaking everything in blinding light. Even with their eyelids closed, that light pierced mercilessly through their... When they finally opened their eyes, a fairy fluttered in the air before them. The fairy spoke to the startled party. I am Lee. What? How? What? The quotation should be around that. I am Lee, the World Chalice Fairy, a spirit that had been sealed inside the building that released the bright light known as the World Legacy, the World Chalice. Hey! In previous times, it was here duty to guide mankind, but it was obstructed by the Mech Knight. Listen! For many years, she had been waiting for the world hero capable of activating the World Chalice. Watch out! And that they are those world heroes. That they are those world heroes. Please lend me your strength and gather the sacred starlights. Save the world from the great darkness, she spoke. Though bewildered, Lee's story, Aram and the group were moved by their earnestness and decided to lend a hand. Oh. Hey, he grew up! Hearing the resolve, the fairies Lee smiled and bestowed upon them the powers of the awakened World Chalice. Alright, let's see what this is going to be about. Oh, Zodiacs. Okay. Well, let's see what this is about. Because, yeah, a lot of people... Oh, shit! My card changed? What makes World Chalice deck unique? You can bring out a slew of powerful link monsters by starting with summoning normal monsters and lending them to further link summon. When World Chalice link monsters are sent from the field to the graveyard, they can special summon a World Chalice monster from the hand. This can allow you to perform even more link summons and recover quickly from your opponent's attacks. Keep World Chalice monsters ready in your hand for even more effective strategies. Okay. Link summon Aura World Chalice Blade Master and win this turn. Okay. Summon it. It just fucking activates? It just needs a 1? Why is that? One normal monster except the token. During your main phase, you can special monster. Alright, whatever. Summon another World Chalice. Okay. Another one? And it came out quick. Oh, it has a graveyard effect, okay. Sure. Sure. So it's teaching us how to link summon. That's what I gather from this. Alright, well I think I'm ready for this one. Come on. Let's do it. I got probably one more in me and I think I'm done. Woo! Oh, damn. How many times I gotta kill these monsters, bro? This is ridiculous. Finally, bro. God damn. Oh, man. Alright, let's see what this is going to turn into. To protect humankind, accepting Lee's earnest wishes, Aurora and the group promised to help her. Accompanied by Lee, the group set off to return to the village, but they encountered several crawlers who blocked their way. Aron, Nigrusum, and Imduk stood before the crawlers with their new strength coursing through their bodies. As they stood between the monsters and what they set out to protect, tension hung heavy in the air. A cold sweat dripped from Aron's chin and damped the frosted soil. As the great tension crescended, the party suddenly lunging towards the exoskeletons of the crawlers. Orum's sword cleaved the enemy with ease. Ningrusu lance pierced nimbly, and Imduk's claws stared ferociously at their metal blade hides, I guess. The battle was almost as quickly as it started. The power of the world chalice Lee had granted them was much greater than expected. They couldn't conceal their surprise at the world chalice. Great power now dwelled within their bodies. According to Lee, there are 6 more world chalices in the world with equal power to the world chalice. If they were to be rediscovered, it would be possible to not only destroy the crawlers but to destroy the Mech Knight who ruled the world. This information provided a great ray of hope for the village people who lived so long in the gloomy forest. Following Lee's words regarding the world chalice, the young folk of the Forest of the Stars set out to journey to seek the next world legacy. And so began the journey of the party in search of the world legacy. Although the party was on a mission to save the world, as their first time in the outside world, everything they saw and heard felt fresh and vivid. No matter how many crawlers would appear, Orum and his friends would fight them off, and they did so for several days. How long must they have walked with these and others guiding the world chalice as their beacon, a humid wind crest across their cheeks. Before the party lay at a red swamp, with the worst of the muddy expansion, a giant armor lying in the bog. Was one of the express purposes of this trip the world legacy known as the World Armor? However, they found more than just the world armor there. Not only the surface of the armor, but the also inside the dark figures squirmed. Like some ants of corpse of dead insect, crawlers swarmed the world armor. Their numbers was countless, from red monocular illuminated blizzard light that filled the party field of vision. The horrific sound of the crawlers, metal hides scraping against each other, united into a thunderous cacophony, as if the earth were shaking. Standing before The three were superior specimens possessing powers far greater than the crawlers that had crossed their path previously. Witnessing an overwhelming sight, the party decided it was reckless to try to break through from the front. On Lee's suggestion, the three friends dared not engage and instead headed for the world armor. Man, I'm getting sleepy. Alright, let's go. Ooh. Man, it's a hell of a good card right there. Just tell me how to use these cards. I'll guarantee you that shit. Just ready to go to bed, man. I don't understand this. This PS5, why is it loading? That's crazy, man. Gotcha. All right, here goes the end. With the world armor in front of them, Auron's party became blocked by a swarm of crawlers. No matter how many monsters they defeat, a new swarm appeared, trampling the debris of the fallen after the party struggle. Damn! The seemingly endless battle had whittled the party's strength down and almost nothing. They were unable to advance, but retreating wasn't an option either. They had no choice but to fight until all strength was gone. And just then, an Aura party that were about to collapse, Lee called out to them by defeating the superior X-Crawler. You should be able to halt the movement of the other crawlers. In the midst of the battle, Lee had discovered that the X-Crawler was the commander of the crawlers. Trusting Lee's insight, the party pierced through the siege and closed in on X-Crawler. X-Crawler restricted fiercely, but they channeled the last of their strength to defeat it. Just the commander collapsed, a swarm of crawlers surrounded the party, suddenly stopped moving. What? Greatly wounded, the Aurora party finally arrived at the world armor, but there were more than just crawlers there. 7 colors light suddenly shone down from the heavens. They appeared as 7 knights. The figures before them were metallic and emitting a radiant glow that enveloped their bodies in a lustrous light. The Meg Knights, who ruled over mankind and all the world, had now descended onto this very place. Arum and his friends found it difficult to describe the grief with mortal words and could only stand frozen in their otherworldly presence. Then suddenly, the Meknites reached their hands out silently, and mysteriously sprung forth in hand and began to shrub Ib. Oh, Ib was exhausted, no, completely spent. The magical barrier provided by Ib had no longer resistance to the force field. The rest of the party disappeared and struggled to rescue Ib. However, with the same light from which they appeared, Ib and the Seven Knights vanished without a trace. Lee cautioned the danger of Ib's wand were stolen. The other world's legacies fell into the wrongful hands. Aram and his comrades set out to rescue Ib and then the recovery of the next world legacy. Wow.